Hey, Shalom, priest, y'all, Bashim, Yashar, Barakatah.
Hey, Shalom, sir. Yeah, Bashim Yashar Barakatah.
What's going on, man?
I'm too wild, sir.
Okay, let's get it. All right, Shalom, Israel, y'all, Bashim, Yashar, Barakatah. To all the brothers, y'all, Shamar, Alta, Bashim, Yashar, to all the sisters. I'm Officer 1000 Araya with the I.S.U.P.K, which is the Israel School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. And you already know what it is. Us in the I.S.U.P.K, we are about the truth, man. Understand? If it's not I.S.U.P.K, it's not the truth. Whether it is Muslim, you understand, the Nation of Islam, whether it is Christianity, whether it is Moors, whether it is Voodoo, whether it is Egyptology, there's nothing about the truth out there except I.S.U.P.K. We stand for the truth, man, and we're here to crush every false ways that's plaguing our people, man. That's plaguing our community. That's what we do, man. You understand? Look us up, isupk.com. Officer Shawan, what's going on, man? What's going on? Shalom, y'all. Yeah, we got clap for the two brothers right here, man. They did excellent work, you understand? In Toronto this weekend. You understand? We are champ. Amazing, man. You understand? And this is what we do, man. We wake up brothers out there in Canada, man, so they could stand up for the truth. We wake up brothers so they could stand up for this nation, man. This nation that nobody cares about, man. This nation, these Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian are the 12 lost tribe of Israel, man. And when you look at it out there, nobody gives a damn about these people, man. It's all about crushing these people. It's all about taking advantage of their oppression, man. You understand? But us in the I.S.U.P.K, we gonna talk. You understand? We don't respect nobody else out there, man. Whether you are a drug dealer, whether you are OG, we don't give a damn the title they gave you. If it's not I.S.U.P.K, we're not gonna respect you, man. You understand? Right. That being said, man, we're gonna talk about forgiveness. You understand? We see the killing each other, one another. We see exactly what's going on in our community, and all this is happening because we like the sense of forgiveness, man. We like that quality. We lacking that quality in our life, man, in our community. We ready to have a brother, you understand, that step on our toes and shoot that brother because he stepped on our Nikes, man. We rather, you understand, kill that brother because, well, you know what, I have a grudge against that brother, man. You understand? But we have to come to the conclusion, to come to the realization that we need to forgive one another. We need to care about one another. We need to be like, you understand, brother, if I do you wrong, I do myself wrong, man, because we are the reflection of one another, man. You understand? Somebody bring me to Deuteronomy chapter again. First of all, somebody bring me to Matthew chapter 6, verse 15, Bible question. You understand? We need that type of quality in our life. And this is the type of quality where we won't have no more gang banging in our community. We won't have blood and crip in our community because we will learn to forgive one another. We will learn to care for one another. Understand? And without forgiveness, we will always be killing one another. Without forgiveness, we're always gonna keep a grudge. You understand? And this vicious cycle always gonna keep turning, man. You understand? Well, you know what? He did this to me, come. He did this to me, I'm gonna do this to him. Understand? God said, do not repay evil for evil, man. You understand? When somebody do you evil, that's Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, take that brother in, man. Show him the evil that he did to you. Make him realize, what if it was you? What if I did that to you? The same thing that you did to me, what if I did it to you? And this is what we need to do, man.
Understand? So, sir, I gotta step away for a quick second.
God, no sweat, no sweat. All right, go ahead. Let's get that precept Bible question.
Come. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6, and verse 15. But if ye forgive men their trespass.
Now, you understand? If you forgive men that trespass, man, which means somebody do you wrong, forgive that person, man. Understand? Now, this is a condition. If you do something, there's something else that's going to come up. If you do so, you understand? If you forgive that brother, you understand, that robbed you. If you forgive that brother, you understand, that jumped you. If you forgive that brother that did something wrong to you, keep on going.
Salakia from the top. But if ye forgive not men their trespass, Neither will your Father forgive your trespasses.
You understand? If you don't forgive your brother, if you don't forgive another black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, God won't forgive you for this, for the sin that you committed, man. Understand? God won't forgive you for that. You need to forgive your brother first, man. You need to start loving your brother first, man. You need to start realizing that we are each other's reflection, man. Having this thought in mind, this is how we're gonna change things, man. This is how we're gonna change our community, man. You understand? I live in Montreal North, Triple 1. This is the blood section in Montreal, right?
God.
And Saint Michel is the crip section. Well, if I tell you there's brothers that understand that wants to come in the truth, that wants to come see me, but they're scared to come in Montreal North. Well, you know what? I got my collars on, you understand? If they see me, they'll do, well, don't wear your collar. You understand? Don't wear your collar. You know, you don't have to wear, I mean, that blue rag that you carry, you know what I mean, to come over here. Well, you know what? If they're representing, I'm gonna represent myself. And this is what they don't understand, man. You understand? All this is white supremacy, man. You understand? You fighting a fight for white supremacy, man. White supremacy is about killing and destroying your own people, man. And you doing exactly the job for them by being a Crip or a Blood, by being in those street gang, man. You understand? Forgive that brother, man. That brother did you something wrong. Forgive that brother. Forgive that sister, you understand? So some of us, you understand? That sister can't cook. That sister has too much of a mouth, and we can't forgive that sister. We rather give her up. You understand? We rather leave her alone, live on the side, and just move on with our life. You understand? While we're destroying that sister at the same time.
Right.
You understand? It's time for, if we don't forgive one another, how can we ask God to forgive us? How can we be, you understand, in all sincerity? Well, you know what, Messiah, I did this wrong. Forgive me for doing this wrong. When you can't forgive your own brothers and your own sisters, man, it doesn't work like that. You want the forgiveness of God, you're gonna have to forgive your brothers and sisters, man. You understand? Keep on. Was that it?
Come on, sir.
Come on. Matthew chapter 18, verse 21. No question.
Come. This is Matthew chapter 18 and verse 21. Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him?
Now this is Peter that was asking Christ. Well, you know what? How many times do I have to forgive a brother? How many times? Every time I forgive the brother, here comes the brother doing something wrong against me. How many times can I forgive, Lord? You understand? Referring to Christ. Keep on going.
Come. Till 7 times?
Should I forgive him 7 times? After the 7th time when it's over? You understand? Should I forgive him 3 times? He has his 3 strikes like baseball. Should I forgive him like this? This is the amount of time I should forgive the brother? Keep on going.
Come. Verse 22. Jesus saith unto him, I say not unto thee, until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
What does that mean, Bible question?
Salakia, sir. It means that we should always forgive our brethren.
Always, you understand? And right. I'm gonna clap it up for Officer SHALAM, you understand? We should always forgive our brother. There's no amount of time when we can forgive our brother. You understand? We ready to forgive white supremacy. We ready to forgive white people so much, we joined the churches, man. You understand? After being beat up, after being lynched, after being in slavery, you understand, where we can't even eat the food that we produce, we forgive the white man and we sit there in this religion, man. But our brothers and sisters, we can't forgive. Understand? Also, I seen videos where I see preachers in the church fighting with the congregation, man. Slapping women in the church, man. You understand? So like I was gonna say bitch slapping, so like you understand? But I see pastor, you understand, slapping sisters in the church. You understand? When it's gonna talk about that same preacher is gonna say, well, we need to love everybody. It's not about slavery, it's not about that. But that same pastor can forgive that sister in the church, slapping up the sister and everything. Understand? Fighting with the brother inside of the church.
Right.
Christian church is the house of Satan, man. You understand? And I.S.U.P.K is the place where you're gonna learn how to forgive your own brother. There's no amount of time where you're gonna have to say, well, you know what? I can't forgive my brother. Always forgive your brother, man, because that's your brother. That's your blood. That's your bone, man. You understand? And this is what we need to do as a people, man. Forgiveness, man. You understand? Have some compassion for one another, man. That's what we need to do as a people, man. And brothers, if you want to add up something, just go ahead, all right? Officers Badger, don't forget the signing link as well, Bob question.
I'm gonna drop that right now, sir. And Salakia, sir, it's so heavy what you're saying about forgiveness. Like the Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, we need forgiveness. It's like it's a major part of brotherhood, because how are we gonna grow as a community, as a nation, if we're not able to forgive our brothers and sisters for simple things? A lot of the things that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans beef about, it's really nothing.
Exactly, understand? Exactly nothing. And we're killing each other for nothing, man. You understand? And this is why, Officer Badger, I said, if we ready to kill the brother because he's stepping on Nike on our Nikes, man. Officer Shawan, go ahead.
And Salakia, just to add, I was in that Clubhouse app just a couple days ago, and they have this this Black Sisters group, and I jumped in there. They had about damn near 80 women talking about how they're done with black men. They want to throw the black man out the house. They want to trade them in for a white man. Damn. And all these sisters are on the same page with it. They're all talking about how the black man has done this and that to them. You understand? And what they're lacking is forgiveness.
And what you said is heavy, priest. And the black man hasn't done, you understand, half of the things that the white man has done to us, to our sisters, man. You see our sister, you understand? This weekend I made a sister realize when we was in slavery, you understand, our sister was covered and everything until they made them be undressed, you understand? Titties out, you understand, behind it and getting out, everything, you understand? They put our sister in the nude. Today, that same mentality is here today on our sisters, man. You understand? Degrading themselves. You understand? That's because of the white man. But you understand? We rather forgive the white man instead of forgive our own blood, our own skin, our own bones, man. You understand? Our own reflection, man. It's a sad thing, man. You understand? And this is why you see those sisters, because they rather forgive the white man instead of forgiving our own brothers, man.
Salakia, if I may.
Go ahead, priest.
Right, like for those same sisters, because I see it all the time, where a sister will talk about all the terrible things that black men may have done to them when those black men didn't have knowledge of themselves, right? We know that as soon as a black man hears this word and he finds the knowledge of himself and comes into the school, all of that stops. We have the way to stop that, right? But they're gonna run to the other nation and forget that, just like you said, like the oppressor has done worse, right, to these sisters than any black man ever could, right? And these sisters, those same sisters who are saying they want to run to the oppressors, they're gonna end up the girlfriend of some Chad Wheeler, right? If I may, Chad Wheeler was a Seahawk, right? A football player who beat his girlfriend down near to death. When she woke up, he said, "I thought you were dead," and continued to beat her. Then she woke back up in the hospital.
You understand? This is what's gonna happen to the sisters, man. You understand? Because they'd rather forgive the oppressor, not knowing the oppressor is the damn devil. Why, when your brothers, when those black men, you understand, whether they are at fault or whatnot, is because of the lack of this mentality and lack of identity and everything, common sense. But you understand, that's still your brother, man. Understand? Right. That's still your brother. That's still your blood, man. You understand? And those brothers, you understand, it's because they don't know any better, man. Understand? They're not in the UPK. They wasn't raised right. They didn't have parents that, you understand, to tell them not to show them how to take care of a woman and none of these things, man. Understand? So this is why they're doing those things. But the oppressor, you understand, He doesn't give a damn about you, sisters. You understand? The oppressor is here to oppress you, oppress your black man, and oppress you. Understand? When you're gonna give yourself to an oppressor, you understand? He's gonna do the worst thing that to you that you could ever imagine, man. You understand?
Right.
Either you are a man or a woman. This is like this, man. He or she gonna do the worst thing that you could ever imagine to you, man. You like a slave. You like a play toy. You understand? You like a play toy to those oppressors, man. Understand? You don't want to be. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. It's like they like to say that black men are violent, right? But they seem to forget that our oppressors, the European man, he leads in crimes against his children, against his wife. He leads in violent family crimes.
Come on. You understand? Come. You understand? There was a devil in Montreal, man. There was a devil in Montreal. He was a doctor as well. He was a doctor. He came home and murdered his wife, murdered his children, and everything. You understand? And you see that more with those oppressors, with those Edomites, than you see with the black man. You understand? It's like we forget that who is the oppressor. You understand? We forget that we came in slavery. We forget that this oppressor, you understand, used to rape our women, you understand, in a far way, you understand, in a big number as well. We forget that we couldn't even eat what we was planting, man. We forget that we even in Canada, you understand, we was in slavery and in the snow without no proper garment, no proper shoes, until you understand our toes fell off, man, because of the cold. We forgive all these things and we're ready to forget the oppressor, but that same brother that is struggling next to you, you can't forgive that brother, man.
Right.
You understand? And it's sad, man, to see this thing, man. It's sad to see how I was being a black Hispanic, a Native Indian man, I was being destroyed. You understand? Our community being destroyed because why? Because we lacking the sense, the compassion that we should have for one another, man. You understand?
Right, sir. And it's definitely heavy what you say, because our people, we blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we will forgive the oppressor 1,000 times before we forgive a brother once, right? And the oppressor will literally call you a nigger to your face, try to attack you. And if you lose your control, lose your temper, and you start engaging in physical violence with the oppressor, every black people are going to look at you like, no, don't do that. And he should be loved. And that's what these pastors do. The pastors teach us to love the rapist. They teach us to love the child molester, love the murderer, right? And those are all the qualities of our oppressor.
Gone. Exactly. You understand? And this is why you understand when I was saying when you stepped out, I was saying to Officer Shalom, I seen video where I seen preachers, you understand? Salakia for my church. Slapping sisters in the church, man.
Right.
I seen preachers, slapping sisters in the church and everything. And after that, they say, well, we need to love the oppressor. I see preachers, Christian preachers, fighting in the church. Well, you know what? We need to forgive the oppressor. When you can't even forgive your own brothers in the same church that you're teaching, man. You understand? And this, we need to stop. You understand? The only place where you're going to find real love, real forgiveness, real compassion for black, Hispanics, and Native Indian is in the I.S.U.P.K on the community general, YAHANNA, man. Nowhere else, man. You understand? Nowhere else. You understand? I seen something in Haiti. I seen something in Haiti, Salakia. I'm gonna go outside a little bit. I seen something in Haiti. You seen the news where the Asian president was murdered, right?
Khan.
And supposedly the Asian president was involved with voodoo. You understand? And they're saying the same people that killed them or the same people in Haiti that's part of it, they involved in voodoo as well. So I was like, God damn, you telling me we got to be like, you understand, about voodoo, and this is our culture, this is our tradition, when voodoo people are killing voodoo people? You understand? Right. It's crazy, man. So now I got to be about voodoo. Then that, you understand? I'm going to be one West. You understand? Right. Because one West knows about compassion, knows about forgiveness, knows about not killing one another, man. You understand? One West knows about, you understand, elevating a brother, elevating a sister, man, showing that sister or that brother the way, you understand, for that sister to change her life, or that brother to change his life. Like this, he could become somebody great in this life, man. Not kill the brother, you understand? Not doing the witchcraft on the side and trying to kill the brother, man. We ain't about that. We are about the wake up of Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian, man. Right. And this is why we say the only place where there's a solution for our people is in the ISUPK, man. You understand? And that solution is right there in this Bible that we're using, man. The same Bible that you ignore, the same Bible, you understand, that you have in your house and that's full of dust. You understand? In the same Bible is the solution, man.
Right.
All we do, we open up that book and we realize things. You understand? We have great teachers in the ISUPK. We listen. You understand? And now today, we know exactly the solution. We know exactly the keys, man. DJ Khaled ain't got no keys. We have the keys in the ISUPK, man. Understand? Somebody bring me to Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17 by question.
Salakia, sir, what was the first precept that you pulled?
Like it. Go back to my notes. Shawan, do you still have that precept?
So it was Matthew 6 and 15.
Come.
And the verse.
All right, let's get it. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17.
Come. So Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
You should, damn, you understand? And this is hard for our people, man. We hate one another, man. Understand? I mean, woman's a thing where she doesn't even know that sister, and you understand? Just because that sister has nice shoes, nice clothes, well, she already hate that sister. You understand? Right. Brothers, the same thing with brothers, you understand? Brothers out there, you understand? That brother got some Nikes, you understand? Some Jordans, you understand? I gotta have them. You understand? You don't hate that your brothers in your heart, man. You understand? When the oppressor has the world, the oppressor running the world, and you don't ever say, oh, you know what? These damn you don't mind running the world. I gotta get it. You understand? That should be mine. You don't put that in your mind, but you want that Jordan. You understand? You want your brother Nikes. You understand? You want your brother Reeboks. You want your brother Versace. You understand? And you ready to kill that brother for that? Right. So the law say you can't hate your brother in your heart, man. Understand? You blood, you crip, you know what? That brother is blue, that brother is red. You understand? You can't hate that brother for a color. You understand? It's them color. And after that, those same brothers now that's gonna hate you for a color are the same brothers that's gonna march Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. You understand? Right. When you're gonna hate your own brother for a color, man. Why? Because the oppressor say so. You understand? Don't hate your brother in your heart, man. Keep on going.
Come. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
What does that mean?
So, Salakia Adawan.
Go ahead.
To correct your neighbor.
So is it saying we should not correct our brothers?
La, sir.
What is it?
It's we got to look out for one another. We got to correct each other. We got to communicate with one another.
God, you understand? You can't leave your brother. Don't leave your brother doing something evil, and you just leave the brother. Well, you know what? That's up to him. Understand? Always be somebody vigilant about your brother. Always show exactly the danger of your action. Well, you know what? If you do this might come to you. You understand? This might come to you, and this is why we have camp, man. This is why we have classes, because we warning you, you understand? This is the way of life. This is how you should conduct yourself. This is how you should direct yourself. You understand?
Right.
And this is why go ahead, preach.
Not to cut you off, sir.
No, go ahead.
The rebuke in this verse is we have to look out for each other. Just like Officer Shariwan said, they're so heavy because the Christian church teaches, and I've had conversations with many Christians, and they always say the same thing when you start to tell your brother you're not supposed to do this, or you tell them you're not supposed to teach the people this, or you're not Salaki, you're not supposed to. You tell your brother you're not supposed to sleep with European women, right? Specifically Caucasian women. Or you tell the pastor you're not supposed to tell the people that they can eat pork, and they say, well, you just got to worry about yourself. You just got to look out for yourself. The Christian church is a selfish place, and they're the reason why the Black, Hispanic, and Native community is still at the bottom, because they're not teaching us to look out for each other. They're not teaching us love, right?
Right.
Salakia, this week we had camp. I met Baraki Allah for the first time, right? And that's, I love that, brother. I'm looking out for him straight up, like, and I'm not letting nothing happen. I'm what Salakia, right? You speak a saint's name and he shall appear, right?
Yeah, right, that's right.
Right, but we're looking out for each other, and that's what the UPK under Commanding General YAHANNA taught us. He taught us to love each other, to look out for your brother, correct him when he's wrong, and don't be afraid of correction. Right? Shalom, shalom, Aki, how about Shem Yashar Barakatha?
Hey, give it up for what you say is heavy, man. What you say is super heavy. Give it up to right. You understand? First time. Trooper, how was it, man?
It was too wild, to be honest. It was real too wild.
Like, speak up.
I said it was too wild. Can you hear me?
He can hear you a little better.
You understand? Trooper by Montreal. So when I camp with the brothers, and that's amazing right here. Also, some like also some soldier for me. I was like, also some was like, you know, we got council. And
that's a lot.
Go ahead.
I almost dropped them off late, sir.
This is the type of love that you have in the UK. This is the type of love one another. Something that you're not gonna find. Something that you're not gonna find outside of these walls, man. You understand? This organization, because the outside doesn't know anything. We correct while we love, while we ready to die. This is the job of being a prophet, man. Every black Indian out there, man. You won't find that outside of the UPK, man. And right, man. Right. Yeah, you understand? And then in the which Mr. Tom could be there, yeah.
Right. Salakia, so you're breaking up.
And I'm gonna be with you. Understand?
So Salakia, Officer Adiyar, he was breaking up. He'll jump back in, right? Officer Shayuan, can you read that verse for us one more time?
Sir. This is Leviticus 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Right. You can't hate your brother in your heart. Like you gotta love your brother, because your brother is never going to be your enemy. Your brother is never going to be the one that took away your heritage. We're never going to. Your brother is not the one that put your mother on drugs. Even though there are brothers who are falling, who they're victims of white supremacy. They're victims of Christianity. So they think they could do anything to survive, because we've been oppressed and crushed so much at every turn, where our businesses have been destroyed, our neighborhoods have been destroyed, our leaders were literally killed in front of us, right? That you have to forgive that brother and teach that brother not to poison his own community, because that's what the oppressor does. He poisons the earth. You see the oppressor living fancy, he's poisoning the earth, and you think, well, maybe if I poison my people, I'll get rich. Maybe if I do what he wants, maybe if I lock up my people and plant drugs and straight abuse them, I'll get rich like he is. Well, I'm gonna hand the class back over to Officer Ariar.
Come on. And also the budget. You understand? Same dealers, they need forgiveness. Those same drug dealers, they need compassion. You understand?
Right.
And you understand, this is why we have the UPK. Those same brothers that was killing our brothers, poisoning our brothers and sisters. You understand? Those same brothers, they need compassion, man. And this is why we're not gonna snitch on the brothers, man. You understand? We're not no effeminate purple. We're not gonna snitch on the brother, but we're gonna correct that brother, just like the law say. We're gonna tell that brother, well, you know what? This is what you're doing to our people. You understand? But you still need forgiveness, man. You understand?
Right.
We still forgive that brother, but you better change your life. You better come in the UPK for 90 days. And understand, instead of destroying your own people, come build your own people. Let's build this kingdom of God, man. You understand? Also, Shalom, let's go back to the verse, Bible question.
Come. So Leviticus 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him.
What does that mean, not to suffer sin upon him?
Salaki, other one.
Go ahead. Hold on. Officer Shawan, hold on. Trooper Barakali, let's get the trooper first. Trooper, what does that mean? Not to suffer sin upon him.
Salaki, does it mean to hold a grudge?
Go read the verse again, Bible question, Officer Shawan.
Come. Thou shalt in any Salaki. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor.
You understand? That means to correct the brother. You understand? To not don't let that brother fall off. Don't let that brother go and do something wrong without telling that brother that that's what you're doing wrong. You understand?
Right.
And not suffer sin upon him.
And not suffer sin upon him. Now, what does that mean? I give you the answer. I give you the answer.
So like you gotta correct him so he don't sin again.
Khan, exactly. That's what it is. You understand? Don't let that brother fall off in sin. You understand? Give it up for people, man. You understand? Don't let that brother or that sister fall off in sin without warning that brother. You understand? So always, when you see a brother or sister doing something wrong, always tell you that's your people. Always tell that brother or sister, well, you don't doing this wrong. Don't let that brother, you understand, well, you know what, is doing this wrong, that's his own life, or she's doing this wrong, that's her own life. Always correct your brother and sisters, man, because that's love. Correcting, you understand, putting somebody to the right way is love. It's like let's say somebody's walking, right, and you know the road that they're walking in, there's a big hole in front of them that they don't see. That's somebody's sin. Now that brother or sister is walking toward the hole. Now, here you are. You see that hole. You see the brother going and fall off the cliff, and you just let your brother fall off the cliff. You know, keep on walking. Nah, you can't do that. You're gonna have to say, well, brother or sister, well, there's a cliff over there. There's a hole over there. Watch out. You understand? Watch out. You're walking the wrong way. This is the wrong way. This is not the way to go. Come, there's another way over there. Even though it might be tight, even though it might be rocky, even though it might be full of trenches. You understand? But there's another way, and at the end of the road over there, there's something. There's a big garden. There's a big garden where you could be relaxed. You understand the shade. You understand that protects you from the sun. And this is what you need to do. You understand? This is a law. You understand? We can't let our brothers, you understand, live in sin. And this is what we do. This is why we have camp. This is why you were in camp in Toronto, because we're not gonna let our people live in sin and not warning them. We always gotta warn brothers and sisters, man. We always got to show, well, you know what? This is where you're going. By doing this, this is what's happening. This is what's going to happen to you. Understand? And if they want to listen, and listen. Understand? You can force a horse to, I mean, you can bring the horse to the water, but you can't force the horse to drink the water, right? So if they want to drink the water, they drink. If they don't want to drink the water, They don't drink, but you still brought the horse to the water. You understand? You still, it's a metaphor, that music. You still showing that light to that brother or sister. You understand? You still showing them. You understand? This road, there's the hole over there. You want to keep going? That's up to you. But I warn you, I did what I'm supposed to do as a brother, or as a brother that loves you. You understand?
Right.
This is love right here. Keep on going, Officer Shalom.
Come. Verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
This is what you were saying, Chibusha and Barakella. You understand? You can't bear grudges. You understand? Somebody did something wrong to you. That's a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. Let it go. Let it go. We have a big problem in the community about letting go things that people have done to us, man. Let it go. You understand? I don't give a damn. You understand? That was a voodoo priest doing some magic trick on you. Let it go. Don't give a damn about it. I don't give a damn. You understand? That brother step on your shoes. Let it go, man. I mean, the brother step on your shoes. Be like, you know what, brother? You step on my sneakers. You understand? Don't be like Dave Chappelle. Hey, no, you step on my sneakers. You understand? I mean, and then you're gonna see that keeping it real goes wrong. Now, tell that brother, well, you know, brother, look, you step on my sneakers, bro. You understand? I'm gonna forgive you for it. But watch out where you put your feet next time. You understand? Because somebody else might not forgive you the way I forgive you. Somebody else might not love you the way I love you. Somebody else might not see you as a reflection of himself, like I see you are the reflection of mine. You understand? Right. This is what we need to do. You understand? Let it go, man.
Salaam, sir.
Go ahead.
I've always found it very puzzling. Like, I know now that I'm in the truth, right? And I've been in the UPK for a very short, just a blink. I haven't been here long, right? But when I was in the world, I used to wonder why is it that every Christian, everybody who says they believe in God or love God, they have a hard time forgiving their brother, but they want the Lord to forgive them of every disgusting sin they've ever done. That they can forgive their brother.
Right. You understand? Because the Christian church doesn't know about forgiveness nor compassion. You understand? Because the Christian church, they don't love. You understand? They have no sense of love. In the Christian church, they think love is just words. You understand? It's just like, I love God. Well, you know what? I love God. I go to church on Sunday. I sing a couple songs. Well, you know what? Jesus is the way. You understand? They sing. You understand? They sing a couple songs. I mean, the preacher says a couple nonsense. You understand? The gay choir, you understand, singing in there. Jesus. You understand? And this is the love. You understand? They come back, you understand, from the concert, and they feel like, you understand, they feel joy. They feel, you understand, the type of joy inside. Just like you go now to a concert that Usher made, you understand, R. Kelly made, you understand, what you more call, you understand, and Kanye West, just like you understand, this is the Christian church. It's a big show. You understand?
Right.
They don't have no concept of compassion, no concept of love, no concept of forgiveness, man. You understand? The only place where you're gonna find real forgiveness is in the UPK. Nowhere else.
Salakia, sir. Just speaking about Christians only singing, right, and being entertainment. Salakia, we're at camp this weekend. We're setting up the camp. The same effeminate preacher that's always there, right? We got there and he started singing. He started talking about you have to love, and then he just started singing. Good. And he started singing, and like you would have thought that man was singing the opera. He didn't sound like a warrior singing. Like, you know how when the warrior sing, Babylon is burning, right? Babylon is falling. So like, I haven't been to Hebrew Academy yet. I'm gonna get it right, right? But he didn't sound like a warrior. He sounded like it was Disney. Moist. It was very moist.
So like I mean, that's the brother that I was hearing in the background, right?
Gone, sir. That's him.
Sound like he was castrated by the oppressor, man.
Right, sir.
Understand? And this is what happens, man. The Christian church makes you become effeminate. You understand?
Right.
And this is not love, man. We want to see our brothers like men. our brothers and sisters being masculine, being ready to rule the world, man. You can't be, you understand, ready to be in the kingdom of heaven and singing like a damn woman, you understand? You understand? You can't be like that, man. This is not love, and this is why we're correcting brothers and sisters that do and walk that way. You understand? Because this is not something that we should do. You understand? And black man, black Hispanic Native Indian man, gotta be masculine, man. You understand? Gotta have some wind in your chest, man. You understand? Not being so them effeminate, moist, and soft. You understand?
Damn
You can't
right.
be like that. You understand? Christ wasn't like that. Christ was a masculine man. You understand? People fear Christ, man. People fear Christ to even go up to him to ask him a question, man. Even the Pharisees and the Sadducees was like, Master, teacher. You understand? Even while being hypocrite. You understand? Because they fear him, man. You understand? But one thing that Christ had for those brothers is love. It's compassion, man. You understand? And this is why he was preaching, man. You understand? Let's keep on going with the verse about question.
Come. Verse 18. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people.
I mean, don't think about revenge, man. Well, you know what, he did this to me, you understand? I'm gonna get strapped up, you understand? I'm gonna get this trap, you understand? Bring the strap and everything to go do something wrong to that brother. You can't be like that, man. You ready to bring the strap to your own brothers and sisters, but you know what? That same devil that oppress you day and night, you don't say a damn thing, man. You understand? Those same agenda they have for black, Hispanic, Native Indian, you don't say a damn thing. But that brother, you understand, for lack of judgment, mess with you, you ready to kill that brother. Right. We have to start being that way. We have to start learning to have compassion for one another, man. We can't always want to have, you understand, well, you know what, it did this to me, it did that to me, who the F he think he is, who the F she think she is, and after that, you understand, go do something evil to that brother and sister or sister. It's time for us to have compassion on one another, man. It's time for us to really love one another. Not the love that they tell you in the Christian church. You understand? The Christian church, they don't have no love. They don't know about love. You understand? Get in the UPK, man, and come learn what real love is about. Understand? Real love is not about going to church. Real love is not because you have a suit and tie, you understand? You have gator shoes and you go to church on Sunday and you carry your Bible. That's not real love. Real love is when you're able to correct and forgive your own brother. You understand?
Right.
Keep on going.
Come. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Officer Shawn 1. I remember I was in the church, right? I was in the Christian church. And Christ, they was always saying, well, you know what? Christ brought a new command, man. You understand? To love your brother like your own. It wasn't written in the Old Testament. You understand? Christ came with that. Christ came exactly with that law. Right. Even the Christian church today, they tell you this is a new law. It's a new law of love. You understand? The Christian church, they'll tell you, you know what I mean? He's gonna repeat those words. We got to love one another. We have to love. Well, he's robbing you. You understand? We have to love the oppressor. We have to love. It's a new love. Christ show us a new love. Well, when I start being, you understand, in the truth, I see exactly that same love was in the law. I was like, damn. So it was why Christ said it was a new thing. It's a new commandment I'm speaking to you when it's in the law. You know why? Because we have fall off from that law. We didn't have no. It was like loving one another, caring for one another was something foreign to us, man. Just like it is today. It's something foreign to us. It's something strange to forgive a black man. It's something strange to forgive a black sister, a sister of us, man. You understand? It's something strange today in our time to forgive one another. Understand? He did this to you. Well, you know what? Show him what you're about. Show him that you ain't playing game. You understand? It's something strange in our time to really have love and compassion for one another. And this is why today we're going to say exactly the same thing that Christ said. I'm going to give you a new commandment, which is to love one another. But that commandment is not new. It's something that was written back in the days. Read it again.
Come. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people. But thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
No, Officer Shawn 1, we should kill one another.
Love thy neighbor as thyself.
Well, Officer Shaw One, you mess with me, I'm gonna show you what I'm about.
Love thy neighbor as thyself.
You gotta love your neighbors as yourself. Your neighbor. Somebody give me that Bible question. The word neighbor Bible question in the Zondervan dictionary.
I got
Okay, you gotta love. Come to water, please. You gotta love your neighbors as yourself, man. You understand? And who is your neighbor? Is your neighbor is the same person that living next to you, next door to you? According to the Bible, is your neighbor is the same person that living next door? Understand? Is it what the Bible is talking about? Because the Christian church make it seem like your neighbor is anybody next to you. You sitting down next to somebody in the bus, that's your neighbor. You sitting down with an Edomite, you understand, in the bus, that's your neighbor. A Chinese, that's your neighbor. You understand? Who is your neighbor according to the Bible? We need to know these things, man.
Sir, I got it, sir.
Go ahead.
Neighbor, out of the Zondervan Slovakia, out of the Zondervan's Pictorial Bible Dictionary. Slovakia. Neighbor, the duties and responsibility of a man towards his neighbor are varied. In the Old Testament, injunctions are given more in the negative than in the positive. Slovakia, let me find it. One moment.
No sweat, no sweat. Understand? You have to love your neighbor as yourself, man. Understand? And we're gonna see exactly who our neighbor is. Is your neighbor somebody from next door? Nah. Understand? Let's give the people a second. Come, go ahead.
And I bet you if you ask a Christian, who is your neighbor? Who's the person that lives beside you? I bet you none of them know.
Come, you understand? That's the person next door. You understand? Christian doesn't have the Christian church. They don't teach you about the Bible. They don't teach you the truth about the Bible, man. You understand? The Christian church don't have no understanding of this Bible, man. You understand? And this is why they're ready to love the oppressor. You understand? Instead of loving their own neighbor, their own, you understand, their own brother.
Slovakia, sir. For a neighbor, I have, it says a friend. It gives the Hebrew word reh.
Right. All right, I got it over here, priest.
Sir.
All right. And in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, right? Neighbor. In Old Testament, neighbor means one who live nearby, a fellow Israelite. Understand? A fellow Israelite. In the New Testament, a neighbor referred to anyone for whom Christ died. Who did Christ die for?
Slovakia, sir.
Go ahead.
He came and he died for the Israelites, sir.
Israel. Right. This is who your neighbor is. You understand? Your neighbor is another Israelite. You understand?
Right.
When the Christian church, well, you gotta love your neighbor, and they think about the white man. No, that's not what it's saying. That's not in the Bible. Your neighbor is another fellow Israelite. Another black is a Native Indian. That's your neighbor, man. You understand? That's those living in the same ghetto, in the same barrio, in the same reservation as you. That's your neighbor, man. Those same people that are oppressed by this white supremacy system, that's your neighbor, man. That brother that is selling drugs, that's your neighbor. That sister that is being a whore and prostitute, that's your neighbor. You understand? Your neighbor is your own people, man. Not another race. Come on, go ahead.
Like my neighbor is the tribe of Issachar, right? That's the so-called Mexicans, right? The oppressor, who's the devil the Bible speaks of, he stole land. Technically, if you go by the oppressor's definition, the tribe of Issachar is neighbor to America. They don't, the Christian church doesn't go to the government of America and say, listen, you have to love the tribe of Issachar because they're your neighbor, right? Only the I.S.U.P.K is saying you have to love the tribe of Issachar, right? And that's for all blacks and Hispanics. You have to love each other. You can't say you love if you can't show love and brotherhood to your brothers and sisters, right? Because love is an action word. We don't, like, you can say love. It's easy to say love, but what are you doing about it?
Come. You understand? That's exactly powerful. And you understand? You know something? When Officer Zbaja was in camp the last time I was in Toronto, he did something. You understand? That touched my heart. You understand? And I always do. You understand? I always speak. You understand about that to a Christian. He asked the crowd, whoever pray. You understand? Whoever take which one of the Christians, you understand, takes about those Native Indian that doesn't have clean water in the reservation. There's no Christian that raised their hand. You understand?
Right, sir.
You understand? And Christians gonna think, well, love. But I bet you one thing: Christians never pray for those Native Indian on whose land they're living in today.
Right, sir.
Your church is built on Native Indian land, and never a Christian ever prayed for those Native men. Why? They don't have clean water in the reservation. There's not one Christian that ever prayed for those Native Indian people, man. Not one. But you know what? We gotta love. We gotta love. Why don't you love the Native Indian then? Why don't you step up and go to the government and march? You understand? They need to be off the reservation and have their own land. They need to be rulers of their own land because this is their land. Which Christian is gonna do that? Not one. You understand? They're gonna talk about Freemason. Freemason is brotherhood. Well, you know what? Freemason is not about brotherhood. Freemason is a club, homosexual club, man. You understand? Where men want to do some homosexual act, and you understand, go out there, you understand, without the knowledge of their wife and be homosexual. That's what the Freemason is. Not about brotherhood. Real brotherhood is in the I.S.U.P.K, man. Officer, you're right, man. Officer, you're right. What's going on? Shalom, Yahbashim Yahshua Barakatah.
What's going on?
Yahbashim Yahshua
Yeah,
Yo, Officer, you're right, man. I sent you soldiers, man. I sent you powerful soldiers, man, in Toronto the other day, man.
Yeah, man. I heard about that. I heard the campus go wild, you know what I mean? So it's great.
Come, you understand?
With slavery, my slavery, I had to. I wasn't able to attend, but once I in Christ, you already know next camp we went forward. It's set up where I can. I won't be coming into slavery, so I'll have a chance to participate out there and hold ground. You get my point, sir.
God, no sweat. Let's give it up again for the brothers now. St. Toronto and the brothers in Montreal that they came. I said that is wonderful camp. Understand? I mean, Bartel experienced the Toronto life, man. You understand? I mean, Trooper Barkel, I almost went to council with Officer Zbaja, man. You understand? You wanted to keep you over there. I was like, nah, you ain't taking him away from me. No way. You know what I mean?
I wanted both the troopers, sir.
It's a lie. You ain't getting none. You know what I'm saying? And this is the love that we have for one another, man.
Right.
This is the type of love that we want to show to the world, man. You understand? And that same is in the I.S.U.P.K, man. You understand? Without you understand I.S.U.P.K on the coming in YAHANNA, there's no love on the earth, man. There's no love, real type of love. All right, and Officer Shalom, was that it for the verse?
That's the end of verse 18. Come on.
Let somebody bring me to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 32.
Like so you said Ephesians 4 and 2?
And 32.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 32. And it reads, "Be ye kind one to another."
Be kind one to another. Learn compassion for your brothers, man. Learn to have some compassion for your brothers and sisters, man. Be kind, brother. You understand? You understand? That doesn't mean to be moist, to be effeminate, to be like a Christian preacher. Well, sister, well, brother, all you have to do is love. No, that doesn't mean that. You understand? Be kind. You see how we talk about Super Barkella? You understand? You see how this fight that goes to the mic and look down. Again, we work here. You understand? The same way, you understand, you see us in the I.S.U.P.K, you understand, about brotherhood, is the same way that we have to be with one another. Be kind, have some compassion for one another, man. Keep on going.
Tender-hearted.
Tender-hearted, man. What does that mean? The Christian church, that's love. That's love. That's love Jesus and love everybody, right? Tender-hearted. What does that mean?
About the sir.
Mm-hmm.
It means we need to be humane, be kind.
Have some humanity. That's what it means. Have some humanity for your brother. Be understanding. You understand? Understand why your brother is suffering. Understand why that brother is selling drugs. Understand why the sister is giving a behind to the street to everybody. Understand that, you understand, that it's not a fault. You understand? But that's what she was taught. Understand exactly, you understand, what makes our people go do some foul thing. Understand these things. Be tender-hearted, man. Understand. Be understanding. You understand? Have some understanding in your heart. You understand? Be ready to forgive instead of being ready to condemn another brother. You understand? Understand that it's not their fault. They don't know who they are. Understand that, you understand, they was deprived of this Bible. They were deprived of their own culture, of their own morality, man. Understand this, man. You understand? And this is why we open our arms to all the brothers and sisters out there. This is why we're able to say, you know what? Come change your life in the UPK, man. Come be renewed. You understand? Otherwise, a drug dealer wouldn't come here. Otherwise, you understand? Another brother that's sin or sister that's living in sin wouldn't have the opportunity to come back to the Lord. You understand? But we understand why. We understand that we are the chosen people. We understand that we must have compassion for one another, man. You understand? Be tender-hearted, man. Understand. You understand? Understand the pain of your brother. Understand the pain of your sister, man. You understand? Keep on going.
Yeah, no, sir. Okay. Forgiving one another.
Forgiving one another. First of all, you got to understand the pain. You got to understand why that brother stole your Nikes. You got to understand why that brother has so much lust and so much envy for him to rob you. You got to understand why that brother can't eat and he has to, now, take that money off of you. You got to understand, well, you know what? Forgive that brother. Show him the way so he won't do the same thing again. Show that sister the way so she won't do the same thing again. You understand? Keep on going.
Even as God, for Christ, had forgiven you.
Even exactly as God is forgiving you for Christ's sake. Christ gave his life for us. Understand? To have forgiveness, you need blood. You understand? You need some type of sacrifice for God to forgive you. Christ was that sacrifice for us, man. Understand? In the same way Christ was able to die for us to love one another, for us to care for one another, is the same way that we should love one another. Christ didn't die so we could just, you know what, feel superior, and you understand? Well, you're not gonna mess with me, and you're not gonna do anything to me. Who the F you think you are? Christ dies so we could have compassion for one another, man. Christ died so I could forgive that brother that trespassed against me, man. I could forgive that sister that trespassed against me, man. This is why Christ died for, man. Understand? Understand? All right, that was it, right? All right. Get somebody, Trooper Bakala, bring me to Colossians chapter 3, verse 13, Bible question. If any Akia man out there, you understand, want to say something or bring a verse, feel free to do so, right?
Okay.
Somebody else bring and get Luke chapter 6, verse 37 ready, Bible question. Colossians chapter 3, verse 13, and Luke chapter 6, verse 37. You understand?
So like that, scripture.
Go ahead.
This is Colossians chapter 3, verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
Forbearing one another and forgiving one another.
Wait, trooper, warrior. What does that mean for bearing one another? General Miami said it's the best. The best. I'll give you a hand. What does that mean for bearing one another?
It's like, is it to forgive one another?
Come. It's about that. It's getting there. It's the way to get there. Who want to give it a shot?
Salakia, other one.
Go ahead.
To hold each other up.
Come in a type of way, yes. Like I said again, General Miami said it the best. That's that.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Is it like saying loving one another?
Yes, it is saying that forbearing one another. But I need something. There's another word that General Miami put it in a way. General Miami put it in. I want to see if somebody gonna have it. Go ahead, Officer Shawan.
To suffer for one another.
Give him a hand. Suffer one another, man. You understand? People think love is about, you understand, well, everything is beautiful, everything is sweet, everything is nice. This is not love, man. Love is when exactly things go rough and you're able to forgive. You're able to suffer that person, man. You understand? Right. It's not when thing goes rough, you understand? Well, I don't have no love anymore. When it doesn't go my ways, well, you know what? I don't have no love anymore. No, you have to suffer that brother, man. You have to suffer that sister, man. You understand? Just like a General Miami said, suffer it, man. You understand? And this is what we need to do. This is our Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. This is what we need to do in our communities, man. We need to suffer one another, forbearing one another, man. You understand? Keep on going.
Forbearing one another and forgiving one another.
Now, if I'm able to suffer you, hold on, warrior. If I'm able to suffer you, if I'm able to, you understand, forbear exactly you, I'm able to forgive you. You understand? I'm able to forgive you. Why? Because I suffer you. Because I really love you. So if I really love you, I could deal with you. You understand? If I really love you, I'm not gonna throw that sister away because she disrespected me because of her mouth. Because you understand? I'm gonna forbear it. I'm gonna suffer it, and I'm gonna forgive her. You understand? This is what this love is about. This is what the scripture is about. You understand? They killed Christ. You understand? Even the people, even our own people were saying, crucify him, right? Well, Christ still loved those people, right? Understand? When Christ died, was about to die, he said, God forgive them, for they know not what they're doing. They do not know what they're doing, man. Christ suffered our people, man. Christ suffered us, man. You understand? He forgave us. And this is the same forgiveness that we have to have for one another. This is the same compassion that we have to have for one another, man. Keep on going, warrior.
If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye.
So what does that mean?
If we have any beef, we should just squash it.
If any man have a quarrel against you, even as Christ forgave you, also do ye forgive him. Which means somebody has something against you. Somebody, you understand, you in dispute. You understand, you have something, you understand, going on between you and your brother, you and the sister. Forgive that brother, man. Be quick to forgive. Understand? Be quick to forgive. And also in the I.S.U.P.K, we quick to forgive. Ain't no sweat, brother. Ain't no sweat. Right. You know what? Next time, don't do it again. Don't do it again. As a matter of fact, don't do it at all, because you might do it to somebody that won't forgive you. I will forgive you, but there's somebody else that won't have compassion over you, man, on you. So just don't do it, brother. Don't do it, sister. You understand? That's how we need to be as Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. This is how we need to be in our community, man. You understand? Be able to suffer one another. and be able to forgive one another. If somebody have something against you, if you are in a dilemma with somebody that's your people, be quick to forgive that brother or that sister. You understand? Because we need to understand that, you understand, we need to be tender-hearted. We need to be understandable. We need to be able to understand why, you understand, that sister or that brother did this to us. You understand? And this is what we show in the I.S.U.P.K. All right. All right. Somebody else, somebody bring me to the other verse, Luke chapter 6, verse 37.
Salaki, so is that verse 31?
37. Luke chapter 6, verse 37.
This is Luke chapter 6 and verse 37. Judge not.
Wait. Say it again.
Judge not.
Only God could judge me. Understand? Tupac. What he say? What the verse says?
Judge not.
What do the Christian say?
Judge not.
Well, the Christian church is gonna tell you, don't judge. You don't judge. You understand? You should not judge. You should not judge. It's in the Bible. But is that what the Bible means? Not to judge. Somebody do something wrong, I cannot judge that person. I cannot show that person exactly, well, you're doing wrong. While the law say always show exactly what your brother or sister is doing that's wrong. But the Christian church will tell you what? Also, Shawan?
Judge not.
Judge, don't judge. You can judge. Tupac said it the best. Only God could judge me, right? Let's see what the judgment is about. There's different type of judgment in the Bible. So let's see what this judgment is about. Go ahead.
And ye shall not be judged.
Mm-hmm.
Condemn not.
What? Oh, there we go. Judge not, so you won't be judged. Now what, Officer Shawan?
Condemn not.
So what is that judgment? What is that judgment when it says judge not? Does that mean I cannot show my brother or my sister that when they're doing wrong?
Salaki, hold on.
Go ahead.
It's that we don't give up on one another.
Not quite. Of course, we can give up on one another, but when it says judge not, that's not what it's talking about. We want to give it a shot. Go ahead.
I think what Christ is saying here is basically judge not, meaning like we are to judge. You know what I'm saying? But with the meaning we're allowed to judge all things. The Bible says, the scripture says we have to judge all things. Mm-hmm. However, you can't judge somebody else and if you're unrighteous. Meaning if, like, let's say you're breaking let's say you can't point out a bad, like you can't point out something like that person is doing, and yet you're doing, like saying, you know, oh, you're a drug addict, you're smoking weed, but you're an alcoholic. You know the point?
It's not the sense of judge. Somebody give me the verb to condemn. Somebody get that definition by the question. We want to give it a shot. Judge not.
Salakia, sir.
Hold on. Also, Shawan. Also, Zabaja, go ahead.
Salakia, sir. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but the scripture is saying, like, a lot of times there's people who want to judge you onto death, right? Like the Pharisees, they were judging onto death, where they're judging and saying, listen, you're being judged and you're dying. I'm killing you because this is what the law says. But they were committing the same amount of crime.
Give him a hand. Give him a hand. In the Bible, right? In the Bible, when you do something wrong, things that you do wrong, you deserve death, right? You deserve death. And this is what the Pharisees, you understand, wanted to do with that sister when that was caught in adultery, right? They brought that sister in front of Christ, and it was like, you know what? She deserved to be stoned. She deserved to die. And Christ, you understand? How mystical it could be, just started writing down on the sand, on the ground and everything. And after that, he said, what? He who was without sin cast the first stone. And nobody threw a stone. This is what it's saying. When it's saying don't judge, it's saying don't punish somebody because of the evil that they've done. Don't punish another brother or another sister because of the evil that they've done. Don't bear evil for evil. Officer Shawan, go ahead.
So, Slaki, so would you pair this precept with not to judge in new moons and Sabbaths?
Not yeah. You don't want to use that. You understand? In the same sense, you don't want to use that. Understand? You want to use it as like the precept where somebody bring me to that precept where Christ was saying with the dilemma with the Pharisees and Christ when they brought that sister, right? When they brought that sister to Christ, that sister that was caught in adultery. You understand? Somebody get me that by the question. You want to pair that with that. That judgment is about punishing another brother, punishing another sister because of the wrong that they've done. Who am I to punish somebody else when I am a sinner myself? Who are you to punish somebody else or to, well, you know what? He deserved this, he deserved that when you are a sinner yourself. That's what it's talking about. Judge not. Understand? That judgment is about the law, because in the law say if somebody does something wrong, there's different type of judgment according to different type of sin. Just like a homosexual had to die, just like a pedophile had to die, just like a adulterer had to die. The adulterer and the adulteress had to die. But who are you to kill that person when you are a sinner yourself? Who are you to judge that person and to take away a life when you deserve to die? You understand? This is why I say the other part of this verse say, do not condemn. Now somebody bring me to the definition of the word condemn, to condemn, the verse to condemn.
Condemn. I got it, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
The word condemn, to declare to be reprehensible, wrong, or evil, usually after weighing evidence and without reservation. Second meaning, to pronounce guilty.
To pronounce guilty. Understand? To punish that brother. Understand? It's just like I know this thought came in your mind. You understand? Since you're in the UPK. Who is the white man to put anybody in jail when he's a murderer on the earth?
Right.
Who is the white man to put anybody on, you understand, our brothers and sisters in jail for selling drugs, for doing this, for committing murder, when they are the drug dealers, when they are the murderer on the face of the earth? Who are they to do this, man? And this is exactly what Christ was saying. Go ahead, Sister Badger.
Salakia, sir. That's heavy what you're saying, because before I found out who I was, before I decided to change my life so I could fix my people, I would justify my evil, right, that I was doing by saying the oppressor does it. He has a beautiful kingdom. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get rich.
Right.
Come on. And we all had that mindset, right?
Right.
But today we realize something. Who are we? But you know, you understand what I'm saying? But while we had that mindset, we was ready to cut somebody else.
Right.
When we having that mindset, when somebody else did something wrong, we was ready to condemn that brother. We was ready to judge that brother. Well,
Sir Salakia.
Go ahead.
If I may, that's something that's heavy in the black community, right? You go around the black community and you'll see a brother say, listen, that person's a terrible person. They smoke crack while he's doing all the ecstasy, while he's doing all the Molly, right? All the Percocets, smoking all the cigarettes, all the weed. And they're going to look at the crack smoker and say, that person's on crack. Like they're an evil, disgusting person.
They deserve the worst. You understand? They deserve the worst. I'm gonna put it to you in a simpler way. We snitch. If anybody out there is wanted, I'm calling the cops. Who are you to call the cops so that brother go to jail when you are a sinner yourself?
Right.
Right.
That's what the verse is about, man. You understand? Right. Judge not, which means don't punish that brother for the wrong you done. Understand? Don't hold no grudge on that brother or that sister, man. Judge not. Don't want to see that brother in jail because he's selling weed or because he's in the list. Forgive that brother. Show him the right way, you understand, to live his life. That's what you're supposed to do. understand? Also, Shawan,
Right.
go ahead.
So, Salaki, so and what's so heavy about that is when you think of like Salaki, so I have a couple of kids, right?
Mhm.
And so a lot of times one of them will they'll come tell like they'll tell on their brother to me, like almost to see him get punished. And I always tell them like don't tell me, tell your brother that I'm gonna tell your brother that he's gonna get in trouble with me if he doesn't stop. Right? Like don't tell me to get your brother punished, but tell your brother to look out for him. You
Come,
understand?
come,
And I think that's the same kind of concept.
come. Exactly. You understand? We shouldn't want to see our brothers suffer even more than they're suffering right now. We shouldn't want to see our
Right.
sisters suffering more than they suffer right now, which is
Right.
the judgment that Christ was talking about. The judgment, that judgment has nothing to do about judge righteously, because the Bible said to judge righteously. Officer, you're right. Go ahead.
So lot if I could, right?
Mhm.
So it's like the judicial. I was driving by Finch, the courthouse today, and I took a look at the courthouse. It's on Finch Court, the new Finch, and that place it looks like nothing from the outside. So, but when I drove by it, I was like, I hate that place, because I remember what I know what goes through. You know what I mean? It's like that's where they condemn prisoners, man. And I mean, I don't think we have the like, how do they condemn? Like, I mean, who are they to condemn prisoners to even die? So, you know what I mean? Like in
Right.
the States, they have the what do you call it? That punishment where you get convicted to death, the death penalty. Like, it's
Come.
backwards, because these people are the most. They're the ones that are in the judicial system. They're the murderers. And if you're not a Jake, you're actually with the oppressor, and because you're getting a good job in the government and you're getting paid to put your brothers in
Come.
jail. Just like that judge. Remember, sir, that judge. There was a black Jake judge. I don't know. We were watching, and she came out to this woman. I can't remember what she did, and the woman was a dog, and she came and brushed her hair and everything. It was disgusting just watching. I don't know if
You talking about that? I believe in the sister that had the brother killed us like this, right?
No, it wasn't a sister. It was a dog, and the judge was a black lady. Was a
Yeah. Con, and she was brushing the head of the
Right. Salakia, sir.
the one that was guilty, right?
Yeah, the devil.
Con.
Yeah.
Con,
Talking to
exactly.
us. We don't get our judges don't come to us, but to a devil. I
Con,
mean, he's co-handing with the judicial system. Is like it's so damn corrupt. Just like you said, sir. I mean, it's like Christ said,
con,
man, who are you to condemn? You can't tell somebody to go stone somebody. You know what I'm saying? Stone the woman because the woman got brought up because of her sins or what have you, right? So yeah, that's a heavy scripture. So
con. So it's exact. Con, exactly. That's exactly a good example. Exactly. You understand? Like, who are they to put somebody to death? You understand? Who are they to not? You understand, to put somebody to death when they are the murderers? You understand? Who are they to, you understand, to put somebody to death when they are the drug dealers? Who are they to put somebody to death when they are the devil the Bible speaks of? And the same concept goes to us. Who are we to see somebody else, one of our brother, one of our sister, you understand, one of our reflection, to die or to get punished because of their crime, because of what they have done wrong, when we were sinners as well. You understand? Which means what? Which
Right.
means the same forgiveness of God that we have, they deserve it as well. You understand? But this is why they need to be put in the right. This is when we need to exactly show that brother or that sister, well, brother, sister, this is not the way to go. This is not the perfect way that you should be in. There's another way. Understand? So you could have forgiveness the same way that we have forgiveness, being this truth. Understand? That's what we should want. Not snitch, like, you understand, like those purple faggot. Not snitch. Well, you understand? Hold your point for a minute. Not snitch exactly. You understand? like you understand, you're all brothers in this in the wanted list, and I'm gonna call the cops for that brother. Nah, I shouldn't want that for my brother, but I should correct my brother so he won't be a drug dealer, so he won't be on that list. So when the cops see him exactly for what he has done and everything, now he's somebody that's changing things around. Now he's somebody that's changing lives around. Eh? You understand? That's what I should want for my brother or my sister. You understand? And this is why we say if it's not in the UPK, it's not the truth, because these are the groups. They're not about love. They're not about a community. They're not about righteousness, brotherhood, man. You understand? We are. You understand? On the community, YAHANNA, man.
Right.
Go ahead, officer. You're right. And so like officer, you're right. Officer Zabaja, you want to say something before?
No, I was just what Officer Urad was talking about was when Botham Jean was killed by Amber Geiger, the devil, that dog, as Officer Urad correctly called her. And the sister, like, it was very sad to see sisters do that. But just like we experienced at camp this weekend, right? We're out there bringing out the word to our people. We're out there teaching our people, even though they don't want to hear it and they're walking by, they're still hearing us, right? And right now they're thinking about it. They're definitely thinking about the words we say, right?
It's gonna be a fight in the air. That demon's getting some punches in the air. You understand?
Right, sir. So what was happening, sir, is we're telling our people, you got to do this. You got to come back to the Most High. There's a brother who he doesn't want to rock with us. He wants to go dance for some effeminate devil in a dress wearing makeup while he beats on his drums, right? And when that devil couldn't stand what we were saying, they wanted to come and tell Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that we're not supposed to be talking, right? What was very interesting as well, sir, is as we're telling Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans that they gotta love each other, and the oppressor doesn't love us, and the oppressor is telling us to turn down our volume, they're playing Black music, sir. They're entertaining and making money on that street off Black music, but a Black man has no voice. He can't tell his people not to commit crime and love each other no more.
Come, you understand? I mean, it's like that devil was wearing a dress.
So, good, nice. So the devil was wearing
you mean those two? So like I said about it, you mean those two short devils? You understand? That you understand? That nail polish, and I think he was wearing lipstick and everything.
Concert, but Salakia, it wasn't a dress, it was a skirt.
Damn, good night.
He was wearing a skirt.
That's some Freemason thing.
Hey, Salakia.
Right.
There was some electrical things happening.
Yeah, it was very shocking. Electric.
God damn, you understand? But this is you understand? This is what's going on. You understand? We able to forgive those them stinking Edomite, but our brother we can't forgive. You understand? Our brother we can't forgive. Now we must turn back and start forgiving one another, man. You understand? You understand? The Bible is about love, real type of love. Just like Officers of Body said, they're getting money off of our music, but we can't speak about to our brothers or sisters. Understand? We can show love to our brothers and sisters. And I made a post on Facebook where I said the unity of Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian is what this empire fears. Understand? Right. And to have unity, to have a perfect unity, you have to be able to have compassion for one another. You have to be able to have love, real love for one another. And real love can come without forgiveness. But some people will say, well, Native Indian had us in captivity as well. They had us as slave as well. We do too. We're doing the same thing to our own people. You understand? But until we are able to forgive one another, we won't unite. And unity between us is what this empire fears, man.
Right. And Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
What's so heavy about what our oppressor does to us, right, is the Native Americans never had us in slavery. They were actually freeing us from slavery. We would run from the plantation to the reservations where the Native Americans were. The oppressor would see the Native Americans treating us good, and they would kidnap us back and say they ran away. So then the oppressor decided, listen, we're gonna try to divide them by saying they can have them as slaves. The Native Americans are brother. They showed us brotherhood by saying we're gonna write their names on the slave ledgers, but we're not gonna treat them like slaves. They're gonna live like free men over here, so they could keep us, and we wouldn't have to go back to the plantation to be murdered and raped.
Right.
Understand? And this is why this class is powerful. You understand? This is why we need to have these classes. You understand? To show Black, Hispanic, Native Indian the type of love that we need to show one another, man. You understand? The type of love that we deserve to show one another. You understand? And not like the Christian church. The Christian church is not about love. You understand? The Christian church see the drug dealers, you understand, like they deserve to go to jail, but they're gonna get the drug dealer money though. Understand? They see the prostitute like something that's disgusting and nasty, and you understand, should have come to church and everything. Now that doesn't deserve repentance, that doesn't deserve mercy, but they're gonna get that prostitute money though. You understand? We all deserve a chance, man. We all need a chance at this, man. Just like we had a chance, everybody else deserves a chance. That's Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. But instead, we rather forgive our own oppressor. We rather forgive the Chinese. Even the Chinese is beating us up with stick, with a broomstick. You understand? Even when the Chinese is beating us up, we still there in the. You understand? In the China, buying Chinese food. When we don't want to forgive one another, we're still there eating dogs and cat. When we don't want to forgive one another, man.
Right.
And this is why the ISUPK is important, man. Also, you're right. Go ahead.
So this is so heavy what you're saying. You know, only in the ISUPK you learn the truth. You know, and our people are in desperate need of these statutes, laws, and commandments. How to treat each other. You know what I'm saying? And you can only find it in the ISUPK under commandments of YAHANNA. No other place. You know what I'm saying? And here we show what real love is, how to respect each other, how to show kindly, be kind to your brother, etc. If I could also, sir, I'd like to bring out a precept.
Go ahead.
Matthew 18, verse 21. And it reads, Matthew 18, verse 21. Then came Peter. Peter was Christ's right-hand man. You know, Peter got taught by Christ, and Peter then passed it on to Paul and so forth. And that's why we know the truth here today. Peter came to Christ and he said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? And so Peter was asking, man, like how many times should I forgive him? Right? How many times should I forgive my brother? Lord? That's asking Christ. And he said 7 times. And that was a lot of times to forgive him. I mean, some people don't want to forgive nobody after one time. They're pissed off. And we, like you said, we have to be quick to forgive. Right? And then Yahweh says to him on verse 22, reading along, says Jesus or Yahweh said unto him, said to Peter, I say not unto thee until 7 times. He said, no, I'm not telling you we should forgive him 7 times, but until, he said, there's the word, but until 70 times 7. That means you should forgive him all the time, man, because your brother just doesn't know better, man. Forgive him as much as times as you can, because he got put in this earth, in the condition that he was put in, and he doesn't know any better. And so it's your job, how Christ was teaching Peter, because Peter was asking. So it's our job to teach our brothers and sisters, man, to go like brother one said, you know what I mean? Go tell your brother, you know what I mean? Tell him what he did wrong, and again, forgive him, you know what I'm saying? Sir Salaka said. That's it.
Salakia. Officer RDR will be back with us, right? Someone get me Matthew. Okay, he's back. Let's see, just in case, somebody get me Matthew.
Salakia, I'm back.
Khan.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna explain you something. Okay, when we say we are the home of the church, we are about it. You understand? Also, Shah one is a witness, is my witness, right? Did we just pull the verse and explain the verse, right? In the beginning of class.
Come on, count, sir.
You see, I.S.U.P.K, we have one mind, one spirit.
Right.
You understand? One mind and one spirit. Also, your right didn't come in class yet, but you understand? You understood something. The same thing that we was breaking down. That verse that you say, Yara, we broke down that verse already in the beginning of class. But this is to show that I.S.U.P.K we one mind, one spirit.
Right.
Even though you're all the way in Toronto, the same thing that you're gonna say is the same thing I'm gonna say. The same thing that Officer Shah One is gonna say. This Officer Sabaj gonna say. And once Trooper Bakar become an officer, is the same thing that he say. Same thing that Trooper Sakwat, you understand? Because we one mind, one spirit. And this is where we use that the spirit. Man. We understand something. It is the key. And you're not hear us say something, the other one is not gonna say the same. You understand? Give the also, you understand? This is miracles. You want to see miracles? Miracles happening to you in front of you today. You understand? Or you can't even pay attention. You don't even understand. God is showing that He is with the I.S.U.P.K, man. You understand?
Right.
Israel. You understand? Us as a budget, you already got that unlocked. But Israel 9/11, you need to join the. I'm gonna tell you why. There's some fake Israelite that snitch. Understand? They're calling the cops. Why? Because they want to see our brothers and our sisters punished and be judged. We don't. We want to see our brothers and sisters have a chance to change their life.
Right.
Understand? We're not affiliated with no other Israelite group. And this is why. Because every other Israelite group have a personal agenda that is against our people, man. You understand? We don't. We are about this kingdom. So if you really about this kingdom, Israel 9/11, get into I.S.U.P.K and come. So like come exactly be somebody that will put the end in the work so that all people could fight their demons, man. Like us as Abadja say. Us as Abadja, go ahead.
Salakia, sir. That's definitely heavy what you're saying, because I.S.U.P.K is not affiliated with any Hebrew group, because every person who says they're an Israelite outside of the I.S.U.P.K, they want you to love heathens. That's eventually they're gonna tell you keep the law. They're gonna tell you Christ is black. They're gonna mimic us to the point until they say you can't love. Until we say you can't love the heathen, right? They're gonna mimic us and then say, you know what? But listen, you could have Becky because we're gonna get her in war, and in war you're gonna be able to make her your wife.
Gone. And not only that, not only that, priest. There's some fake Israelite group that say we could rape. There's some Israelite group that say we could have sex with a child because she has a period. You know what I'm saying? We're not affiliated with nobody else outside of the UPK because we are the home of the truth. You understand? So Israel 9/11, if you're really about that work, if you're really about that spirit and building this kingdom, well, you know what? Just like us as about to say, hit up the link and understand, do your 90 days, classes, understand, and training, you understand, and everything. If you're not already in the UPK, you understand? But you understand? Let's go on. Acts chapter 17, verse 3.
Anybody here? The officer, the precept that he wants. Officer, you're cutting out.
I can't. Hold on a second. Acts chapter. Somebody else bring chapter 17, verse 3.
Salakia, so you're chopping up a bit.
Sir, I got it.
We're Acts chapter 17, verse 30, and we have 17.
Salakia, sir, one moment. Acts chapter 17, verse 30. And the times of this ignorance God winked at, but now commandeth all men everywhere to repent.
So wait, also, and bring that first part of the verse.
And the times of this ignorance God winked at.
Okay, say that. Now, this time of ignorance God winked at. What does that mean?
Sir?
Go ahead.
Does that mean that it means that actually that God basically overlooked our times like in the past? Like he actually suffered the way how we went, after other nations, and when we're sinners, right? When we're doing our ways, like he overlooked our ways because he overlooked over our sins. But now he's saying it's time. This is the time now. You should know better. Come back, repent, and follow Christ.
But let's stay in the first part of the verse. In the time of ignorance, God winked at. We read a verse before where he said we got to be tender-hearted, which means understand. God is the same way. God understand. Now, what happens? We have our people in the Christian church. Those people in the Christian church, they don't know any better. You understand? Those brothers don't know any better. Those sisters that prostitute, understand? Because nobody asked them that you shouldn't be doing anything. Even though they might know that it's wrong morally, but this is the way of life. What is promoted? They promote in this empire, right? They promote filth, nastiness, abomination in this empire. You understand? God's like, you understand? This is not. The verse, Bible.
Salakia, sir. I didn't hear you. You telling me to
keep on going. Verse.
Acts 17, verse 30. But now commandeth all men everywhere to repent.
Now, every man deserves have a chance to repent. First is exactly what I was saying before. Now, we should have the same spirit of God. And better. But they could repent. They could stop doing stuff. They won't trespass. But you should be ready, just like God is ready to forgive. You should be ready to forgive that brother or that sister. You understand? You should exactly the trespass that your brother or sister did to you. You should saying when you was ignorant, but we should take our brothers and sisters. We should and forgive. You understand? We have the same compassion that God had on us. We should have that same compassion.
You're cutting off, you're chopping.
This is what is
just I'm not sure if it's just my
speak up.
Right.
Y'all chopping up a little bit over here as well. You understand? The oppressor here, black men talking about forgiving. We're putting in the movies they should kill one another. We're putting in the music they should murder one another. And here comes now, a couple black men, you understand, Hispanic Indian men talking about forgiving each other. Well, damn, that stuff. We gotta keep going. But this is what it is. The same way that God went at our ignorance, our sin because of ignorance, the same way we gotta went at our brothers when they trespass against us, man. The same way we gotta be understandable and be like, you know what, brother, I understand it's not your fault. I understand that you don't know any better. I understand that you don't have that type of morality in your mind, that type of common sense in your mind. But today you're gonna get that work.
Right.
You understand? Today, you're going to learn. Today, you're going to learn about real love. Today, you're going to learn about real brotherhood. Today, you're going to learn that you must love your own reflection, man. And that's what we do in the I.S.U.P.K, man. You understand?
Right.
That's what we do. Somebody bring me to Luke chapter 17, verse 3. Bible question.
Salakia, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I did have a precept that I wanted to add, talking about love and we are talking about love and forgiveness. I wanted to add a precept that goes to what we're talking about.
Come on, give it to me.
I got Matthew 25 and 40. And the king shall answer and say unto them, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. Right. So if you like you have a grudge against your brother and or your sister and you don't forgive them, you take it out on your brothers and sisters, right? It's like you've done it to everybody in the nation of Israel, right? And that's how we got to treat brothers and sisters. We have to treat our brothers and sisters with love, where it's like if we see something bad happening, like, right, we forgive, but we correct at the same time. Because if it happens to one of us, it happens to all of us.
Right. You understand? I'm gonna make a post about that. If it happens to one of us, it happens to all of us. And give it right, to us about that hand, man. It's a powerful piece of these words are powerful, officers about you. And this mentality that we on. This is when we're gonna have compassion. When we are exactly just. If it happens to one of us, it happens to all of us. This is what happens to the other nations. You understand? But we don't have that sense. You understand? The Christian church tells us what? Well, you know what? Salvation is personal. Well, newsflash, Christian, Israel shall be saved. Not your own self. Salvation is just not for you. Well, you know, do what you got to do. Your salvation is personal. Your salvation is not personal, Christian. Israel shall be saved, man. You understand? And this is what the Christian church doesn't understand. If it happens to one of us, it happens to all of us. And if having that mind, having that concept out of our brain, is how we're gonna be able to forgive one another. It's how we're gonna have compassion for one another, man. You understand? Having that same concept that the Bible just laid out. You understand? This is what's gonna heal our nation, heal our communities. Now, you know what's gonna happen? We won't have no blood and Crip gang in our communities, man. That's Ravage in Montreal North. That's Ravage in Montreal East, man. We killing one another over them color because we don't see that if he dies, I die. If he can't eat, I can't eat. If he doesn't have a house to stay in, I don't have a house to stay in. If it happens to one of us, it happens to all of us. You understand? Also, it's about to keep on going.
Salakia, sir. I just wanted to add. I wanted to add this earlier, but you were just going on and you were bringing that heat, and I forgot about it for a second, sir. Salakia. But
Salakia is about it. If I talk too much, I know you lost your voice, but you know me. Talk me up whenever you want. All right.
sir. You bringing that fire right now, right? So, like. The Bloods and Crips, right? This is how we know our oppressor is the devil, the Bible speaks of, and the Christian church has done nothing for us. The Bloods and Crips were started to fight the Ku Klux Klan. The oppressors, seeing that the Bloods and Crips, after the fall of the Panthers, right, that the oppressors murdered the Panthers, we started Bloods and Crips to protect our neighborhoods. When you ask like original Blood and Crip members, if they're still alive, what Bloods and Crips means, it's an acronym based off brotherhood, right? It's not based off gang violence. when the oppressor realized that the Bloods and Crips were protecting the neighborhoods from the Ku Klux Klan, they put more drugs, more heroin, more crack in our community and gave it to these gang members who weren't gang members at the time, right? So they could sell. They destroyed them. The Christian pastor never said the oppressor is your enemy. He never taught that. So these men never learned that. Salakia.
Exactly. That's exactly the truth. You understand? It's exactly the truth. Those three gangs wasn't made exactly for being gang members. You understand? Here's the acronym for the Crip gang: Community Resources for an Independent People. Man, you understand? This is where Crip come from. You understand? This, just like Officer Zabaja said, that's real history right there. You understand? The Crip gang started, you understand, about the community, protected the community, just like the Black Panthers. But you understand, the oppressor, which is the devil, those them, you understand, those them troglodytes, you know what I mean, came and full up exactly our communities with drugs. And you understand, and knowing that we are people, we are poor, we are broken. You understand, we came from broken houses. You understand? We have so much lust and envy inside of us. Here's the drug, you can make a couple $1 million. Now here comes the brothers not having the discipline of the UPK, sold out. You understand? And this is where you have black man killing black man over color today. You understand? Well, you know what? Forgive your brother. Forgive that black man even though he's wearing red. Forgive that black man even if he's wearing blue. You understand? Those wearing purple won't forgive you. They will call the cops on you. You understand? They see you on the list. They will snitch. We won't snitch, but we will rebuke you. We will tell you, now, we will tell you, you must change your life, man. You understand? Somebody bring me to that precept, Luke 17, chapter 3, Bible question.
Luke 17, Luke 7:3, verse 3. I read, take heed to yourselves. If thy brother trespass against thee, rebuke him. And if he repent, forgive him.
You understand? This is what we're saying. This is what we're saying, also. You're right. If your brother do something against you, rebuke him. Tell him the brother. I mean, take the brother outside. You understand? Your brother, come in. You know that you done me something wrong. Now make him understand it's wrong. If I was you and I did the same thing that you did to me, to you, would you accept it? This is how we got to talk to our brother. And you know what? That brother or that sister gonna say no. I won't accept it. Well, why did you do it to me? Well, you know what? I'm ready to forgive you. I'm willing to forgive you. Do you understand what you have done? Yes, I do. Well, you know, I forgive you. Understand? But you know what? What about not doing it? Because you might do it to somebody else that won't have the same compassion that I have for you. That won't have the same love that I have for you. And you know what? Those kind of words, those words right there, is gonna win a brother's heart. It's gonna win a sister's heart. Understand? Just by being like this, by being able to forgive, wins souls, man. And this is what we need to do. And this is what we teach and are about in the I.S.U.P.K. Just like I said, we're not affiliated with no other Israelite group because we're not about a community or about a people. And we're not no damn Christian either. We will fight. We will stand up and fight. You understand? Trust me, we're not gonna somebody murder us without a fight. You understand? If we gotta, you understand, roll with the punches, we're gonna roll with the punches, man. You understand? But we're ready to forgive first. You understand? We're ready to show you, rebuke you. And if you realize what you have done wrong, if you realize that if I was you and I did the same thing to you, what you did to me, maybe you won't do the same thing that you done to me. Understand? Maybe you will change your life. Maybe you will have some type of common sense. And this is what love is about. This is what forgiveness is about. With forgiveness, our community won't have the crimes that we have in the community. You understand? Chicago is the murder in the United States. I was reading, you understand, Chicago was add murders over murders, and all black people. You understand? Why? Because we can't forgive one another. Why? Because we don't have this compassion that we need to have for one another. But you know what? In all those people dying in Chicago, I don't see black people killing white people. You understand?
Right.
I don't see what black people doing drive by on white people. You understand? But it's us killing one another. And you know what? You are against black on black crime. Get in the UK, man. Come learn real love. Come learn real, you understand, brotherhood. Come learn how to have compassion for one another. And love is not about words. It's not, well, I love you. I love my people. I love this. I love to be Asian. You know, say Asian. You know, black power. No, this is not love. Love is action, man. Love is able to forgive one another. Love is able to have compassion for one another. Love rebuking one another, man. If you do wrong, I do wrong. Just like Officer Abadja say, if it happens to you, it happens to me. So if you're wrong, I'm wrong. If you well, I'm well. We have to have that same mentality as a community, man, as a people. And this is what we need to do. This is what we need to have. And once we have that, we will be better off of what we see today. Man. You understand? Was that it on the verse?
Come on.
All right. If anybody want to say something or bring a verse, go ahead. All right, we're about to close here soon.
Salakia, sir, if I may.
Go ahead.
It's definitely heavy that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we need love immediately. We need love from our people like we need air, right? Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans think they need water to live. You need love. You need forgiveness. You need brotherhood, right? Because okay, so I'm going to say two things, right? Now, I'm not condoning violence. That Chicago drill music, like depending on what you're doing, that sounds really good, right? Even though the message is very terrible, right? But those brothers make that music because that's the condition they're living in. We make music based off our condition. That's how we got blues, right? But those brothers don't sell that music. The oppressor sells the music. He's the one that makes drill music. So not to say popular, he's the one that makes it possible so you can make money off of it, right? They take down our channels because we say things that go against the norm of society. We say things the Lord wants us to say. They leave up, go get that 50-round drum and shoot up their whole neighborhood on YouTube, right? The violence in Chicago is happening because the oppressor wants it to happen. If they didn't want it to happen, they could stop it. It's just like how they shut down the border, they could shut down the violence, but they don't want it to happen. To shut down the violence, give Commanding General YAHANNA the reins. That's all they have to do.
Most side Christ. And I'm gonna tell you, understand this. This is why I don't listen to Quebec and Montreal, especially rap artists. I mean music as well. You understand? Because it's all about selling drugs, pimping our sisters, killing one another. There's no music over here that's about uplifting our community, man. You understand? There's no music. The artists, I mean, I got a couple, you understand, people that are new in the world, that are singers, that are rappers and everything. All they sing about is about one another. You understand? Some on my Facebook, some on my Instagram. They're all about killing one another. But they're gonna you understand? They're gonna come talk to me. Well, what you said is powerful. We should come together. Well, you making music about killing one another, goddammit. Understand?
Right.
In the I.S.U.P.K, we are here to wake you up and show you that you must love one another. Somebody bring me to the last verse. 1 John chapter 4, verse 20.
Come. It's 1 John chapter 4 and verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar.
Well, Officer SHALAM, we snitch. If I see any one of you on the list, I'm calling the cops. Repeat that again.
He is a liar.
He is a liar, man. This is why we're not affiliated with any other Israelite group out there. Not because the person know that he's an Israelite, or you understand, saying God is black and Christ is black, and that means they have the truth. Nobody else outside of the UPK have the truth. We have the truth. We are the home of the truth. You understand? And this is the place where you're gonna love your brother. This is the place where you must love your brother, man, and love your sisters, man. We're not gonna have sex with a woman and throw her away. We're gonna suffer that sister, man. You understand? We're gonna forgive that sister. You can't cook? Well, you know what? I'm gonna buy cooking books for you. You understand? Watch cooking shows. You understand? Matter of fact, if I know how to cook, I'll cook with you. You understand? You don't know how to clean? I'll show you how to clean. You understand? I'll show you what I want from you. You understand? But I won't throw you away because I don't want to forgive you and I can't suffer you. I will suffer you. We will suffer you. This is the one West. You understand? Our brothers out there, you understand? Doing committing all this type of foul things, we will suffer for these brothers, man. You understand? We will suffer these brothers and we will forgive those brothers. But we must rebuke you because rebuke is about love. If I don't show you you're wrong, I don't love you. You understand? Keep on going.
Oh God. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen?
Nah, I'm seeing you, Officer Shawan. I'm seeing you, Officer Yarad. I'm seeing you, Officer Zabadja. If I cannot love you that I see, I cannot love some, you understand, an invisible entity. You understand? To put it in those words. How can I love God? How can I love Yahweh? How can I love Christ when I can love you, when I can rebuke you, when I can have compassion for you, when I can have mercy for you? How can I love God for real? Well, I don't see God. Nobody see God. You understand? But I see you, Officer Shawan. I see you, Officer Yarad. I see you, Officer Zabadja. I see Patti LaBelle that's over here. You understand? In classes in Montreal. You understand? Give her a hand. You understand? You understand? Get fire, you understand? To come to class over here. You understand? But I see y'all. So I gotta love you. I gotta show y'all love. If I can show y'all love and compassion and forgiveness, you understand, and mercy, how can I say I really love God? How can I say that I really love God when I hate my brother? I hate my neighbor who is another fellow Israelite, another black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, man. Right. How can I really love God? This is a lie. He's a liar. Somebody that does say I love God while hating another black, Hispanic, and Native Indian is a liar. That's what the Bible says. You understand? Yeah. You sending drugs to your people and say, well, Black Lives Matter, you a liar. You understand? Christian church, well, you know what? You understand? We go to church on Sunday and everything, and we must love the oppressor. You a liar. You understand? But we will forgive you if you trespass against us, and we will correct you. Like this, you won't do what you did to us. You won't commit that same sin. You won't do the same thing that you used to do back in the day, but you will change your life. And why? Because you have a chance at it too. Just like I had a chance. I had a chance to repent like this. I could be in the UPK and I could serve my God. Officer Shawan had a chance. Officer Zabadja had a chance. Officer Yarad had a chance. Trooper Barakela had a chance. Trooper Satam, Trooper Sapuad. You understand? We all had a chance. And you know what happened? We took that chance. We changed your life. And you know what? That next brother or sister, I have that same chance. So let's give it up, you understand? And let's be ready to forgive one another. Let's be ready to suffer one another. That being said, I'll pass the class to Officer Zabadja, right? Officer Zabadja, you in? I'll pass the class. I'll pass the class to Officer Zabadja. That being said, clap it up.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21. Malachi 3 verses 8 to 10. Ma'ashra, which means tenth in Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Up and coming holy convocations, Salakia. I don't have the up and coming holy convocation in front of me, but if you are searching for it, we will post it onto the Facebook and onto the IG. It should also be on isupk.com.
Salakia, other one.
Con.
That's Monday, September 6th is the memorial blowing of trumpets.
Con. Do Allah.
Council.
Reminder to the Akim and Aqua to check isupk.com, and also new channel alert, blackwatch.news and Blackwatch News on YouTube. Blackwatch.news, you can type it in on Google and the new website will pop up. Blackwatch News on YouTube is the new channel that Blackwatch, the show, is being aired on. If anybody wants to be a trooper in the school or a sister in the school, hit the sign-in link. Troop brothers, if you want to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, men of Israel, I majam, which means to stand. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the Akim and a courtesy salute to the Aquafim. Men of Israel, I majam Shabbat. Men of Israel, I majam. Salakia, Majin Shabbat, Barak, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Yad Yam Matah, which means hands down. Men of Israel, we're going to give a courtesy salute to the Aquathium. Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yad Yam Matah. Class dismissed.